John, great to be with you on this first week. I think we saw the numbers that came out this morning, and consumers seem to be, in general, stronger. When you look at the U.S., obviously the consumer numbers that came out were stronger than 2 years ago even. And so that has caused a lot of concern. And I think that's why we saw the kind of correction we saw today. Also, the Fed minutes that came out this week and earlier in February were showing that the Fed is serious. Now, Chairman Powell has been saying all along to the markets that he does mean it when he says 2% is the objective of the Federal Reserve. But somehow in January, the markets were not believing him. And in February, finally, particularly this week, I think the markets have come to believe him and expect another 75 basis points of increase because the consumers, as you said, remain strong. Well, and that is the same thing if you go to China, as the Chinese who were saving over the last many months in lockdown are starting very much to spend that money.
But here's what I wonder, though, Afsaneh. Is there a difference between a consumer who is spending and a consumer who is strong? Because while the consumer is spending, we also see so much debt expanding. Yes. We also see the savings rate coming down. So I worry about a vice between the higher rates affecting them at the same time as that ability to spend might get pulled in.
I think you're so right, because we're starting to see across markets. You're so right. In the U.S., for example, you're seeing that debt numbers are climbing across different areas and different sectors. We see housing starting to get affected. And we see that the same thing, by the way, you talked about a little bit internationally, low income across the globe. For example, if you look at emerging markets, they have 100 trillion, almost just under a trillion, of debt. When you look across households, governments, etc., these are very large numbers to come back from. And so in the U.S. at this moment, while the debt numbers are not the way they were, they are certainly climbing up, and consumers have spent the savings that were accumulated over the last couple of years, no question about it. But there is a tale of two cities. U.S., the consumers have kind of spent that saving that they accumulated over the last few years, and the government programs that helped to increase that saving rate, and the fact that we had our own version of lockdown. And for example, in parts of Asia, and particularly in China, and then also was under lockdown, where consumers are spending and not reducing their savings.
So shifting gears here a little bit, but staying with more of a global lens on this. I mean, we're at a key juncture right now in terms of the power competition between the U.S. and China. Obviously, we're marking the one-year anniversary of the Russia-Ukraine war. And then, of course, now you're starting to get nominations for the World Bank with AJ Banga nominated by President Biden just yesterday. It seems to be a real key juncture for multilateral institutions. It's something you've written about this week. Break it down.
Morgan, so right. I did have an op-ed piece in the Financial Times, and I think we are very fortunate that President Biden has nominated AJ Banga, who is a true finance leader, but also I think he will play a very major role on future climate finance, especially. And he has a really strong record on inequality, on bringing finance to different classes of populations, low income and high income. So I think he is an excellent choice. And the fact that he has ran complex organizations, I think will also be very important, is being not just successful in running the bank, but going earlier to the points that you made, which is that we are really dealing with the world, which is much more divided. The Ukraine reconstruction, as you said earlier, is going to cost more than $350 billion, and it has to come from someplace. You are going to have all the other issues with emerging markets that are going on, with a number of countries that are going into default that need to be resolved. And all of them are also going through some version of dealing with what you said also, which is the China and Russia conflict.
Right.
China is trying to play its role on these countries. And I think what the World Bank and U.S. and its new nominee at the World Bank will do will be very important.